Hello everyone, I thought I'd give you guys a look at the frozen pond. So if you just go back like maybe 2 weeks, completely different here, right? Just 2 weeks ago, it was a lot warmer, and basically it hadn't rained for almost, since August really. So it hadn't rained heavy for almost 3 months, and the water level was about 2 feet below what it is right now. And if you look right now, you can see that it is frozen, and you can see that, the snow, you can see where it's flat, is like almost all the way to the top. Not all the way to the top, because I have an overflow over here. So you can see how it overflows over here, right? It's actually come all the way back over here, but this is where the overflow is, like right over here. Hasn't quite made it all the way up over the overflow, but it's close. So you can see the branches I put there. That's basically to keep the heron out, so heron can't just walk in there and pick off the goldfish. But yeah, we got the full 5,000 gallons. I think we were down to something like 2,000 gallons just like 2 weeks ago. So, and it was because it's like an S shape. So we normally, right now it's about 100 feet long. So the last vid, if you go back like 2 videos, thing was like half the size. It was basically like stopped right about here. So from this point back, it was completely dried up. So now, yeah, it's gone all the way back. See where the cone is? That's about where it ends right now. It won't extend it. It won't extend past that because of the overflow that I have on the other side. So if it starts getting any higher than this cone over here, the water would just leak out, would just go out the other side. But yeah, I thought I'd let you guys take a look at this pond. So the goldfish are all basically at the bottom, nice and cozy. Well, I don't know if they're cozy, but basically they've gone into it's not hibernation, but it's like hibernation. It's called torpor. Like they don't actually go to sleep, but their biological activity just drops. So they're not moving, they're not eating, they're not going to eat until the spring. They don't move much. They just sit there and they wait for the winter to end. So the water, like at the top, it's about 33 degrees, right? But the water, basically water is the most dense at 38 degrees. So what happens is, the heavier, once the water gets to 38 degrees, it settles to the bottom, right? And then so the top layer freezes over, and then that insulates it. So the top, inch or two, maybe 3 inches if it gets really cold, basically the first like 2 to 3 inches freeze, and that kind of acts as a barrier, because now the cold really can't penetrate that much deeper. So for the rest of the winter, like like if you go down a foot, it doesn't get any colder than 38 degrees. So that's the coldest it will get, and then the fish will survive in that throughout the whole winter. Okay, so really interesting stuff for me, at least anyway, and for those of you that are following my pond videos. But this is what the pond looks like in the wintertime when it's frozen over. It's not thick enough that I can walk on it yet. I mean, it would have to be like below freezing for, probably like in the teens for at least a week before I would consider it safe enough to walk on. Actually, there's an interesting view from this side over here. I backed up a little bit. That's where the branches were before. You can see where the cone is way back over there in the middle of the screen. But you can see on this side how the water has backed up, and now it's frozen. You can tell like the flat surface where the water has frozen. So yeah, just 2 weeks ago, man. I mean, this thing was like, way back over there, and it was like, I mean, I think the max, it had actually dropped below 1.5 feet at the deepest point. It was like, yeah, it was just below 1.5 feet. Right now, it's like almost a full, it's not quite 4 feet deep at its deepest point, but it's pretty close to 4 feet.